much for clicking on this video. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to hang out with me. Today's video is another Team Up Tuesday with my girl, Get This Glowing. I know, it's been a hot minute since we've done a Team Up Tuesday, but life gets busy and it's okay. I'm super excited that we're back in action. I absolutely love and adore Jeannie. She does a lot of mature skin focused content over on her channel. Definitely check her out. And if you're visiting from her channel, welcome. Thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you subscribe and give this video a like before you leave. I almost forgot to mention what we were doing today. We are talking about 10 products that we received from subscription boxes that suck and are getting decluttered. I'm a little upset with myself that I've already decluttered 3 products that would have been perfect for this video. One being the Butter London palette. It's the 6-pan palette that has that blue shade that does not blend out well, the green shade that doesn't pack on well, the brown shade that looks like doo-doo, and then 3 pretty shimmer shades. I depotted the 3 shimmer shades, put them in a magnetic palette, and then I tossed the remaining palettes. It actually felt really good depotting the palette. I haven't really depotted before. I've only depotted 2 palettes now. I've definitely been inspired to depot a little bit more, keep the shades that I want, and just getting rid of the rest. Why keep that bulky of a packaging if it's just taking up space just for 3 shades? Because is it worth it in the end? And then the other 2 products I've actually mentioned, one being that Faca, whatever that 24 karat sketchy gold moisturizer was that's allegedly $100, which some people say it's $2, some people say it is $100. I don't know what it is. It's thriving in the trash. I didn't even try it because A, it had parabens in it, 2, the website is sketchy, 3, the brand popped out of nowhere. Too many sketchy factors for me to put something on my face, and I try to take the best care of my skin. I have been guilty about not doing my appropriate research like I learned in my Lush skincare, which is actually where I found out that Lush had some parabens in it. Now I'm definitely more self-conscious about definitely checking the ingredients before I even test a product on my hand. And usually if it has a paraben in it, I'll just declutter it. Since I am a huge advocate for not using them on my channel, I don't want to put something like that in a giveaway. I would feel like a hypocrite and it's blasphemous. I think parabens is just a preference. I know for me there are so many other preservatives out there that can be used that are a little bit more safer, like phenoxyethanol, EDTA. Those are 2 of the most common preservatives you will find in lotions, shampoo, conditioners, facial cleansers, eye drops, makeup, you name it. I'm not telling you to stop using products that have parabens in it. It's just your preference and what you feel comfortable using on your skin. And then you have that wonderful Illamasqua jelly primer that sucks. And it's supposed to be hydrating. It provides no hydration. I am certain that it sucks out your moisture instead. But if you do want a hydrating jelly primer, the NYX Bare Skin one is absolutely amazing, and it actually does hydrate your skin. So those 3 are decluttered, and I went through my collection and I found 10 other products. So I had to give those 3 honorable mentions because they suck so bad that they're not even in here for this video. The first product is the Pure Midnight Masquerade Face Palette. I got this in a BOXYCHARM. I'm pretty sure I only used this once and forgot about it. And this blush is growing something. So clearly it's a sign to get rid of it. And I was only keeping this palette for those blushes, and it's not even worth depotting at this point because it is growing something. I don't know if it has spread to anywhere else. I was just never crazy about this palette. I mean, it's nice that it is a face and eye palette. I just felt like the blushes are just too extreme for me. That's too plum, that's too coral, and I think that these 2 were highlighters. This is too brown. And then this eye color story, I mean, it's unique. There's only 1 matte. Oh, and I think the matte is growing something too. Well then, that's awkward. I just didn't get much use out of it. I don't know why I just held onto it so long, but it's growing stuff and it's time to go. Also, we all know Pure Cosmetics is a cult favorite of BOXYCHARM, which is fine because Pure does have a lot of good products. It's just, I feel like if products aren't selling, especially their palettes, we see an influx of them in BOXYCHARM. People don't get excited about it anymore, and I've heard some talk about some spoilers for April that there is going to be a Pure palette, but there's also going to be a variation of palettes, and everyone suspects that pretty much everyone is going to be getting the Pure palette, while people in PR are supposed to get the Lunar Beauty palette. But hey, this is just a conspiracy theory. Next, we have this ridiculous Betty Boop palette. This has no pigment at all. I would swatch it because there's pigment to the swatch, but when you apply it to the eyes, it fades away. And they definitely did Betty Boop dirty because what part of this screams Betty freaking Boop? none of it. I was so disappointed with it. I'm not the biggest Betty Boop fan, but you know, it's a collab and collabs are exciting, except when it does nothing, it's very disappointing. She deserves a redo and it's going in the trash. I don't even know why I'm still hanging on to some of these products. We should have been decluttered a while ago. And to continue the Betty Boop train, we have the face palette. And the face palette, I had a little bit more hope for it because I love these blush shades. But again, no pigment. It is so disappointing. I even layered and layered and layered these shades on my cheeks and still nothing. Last year, IPSY did do a fair amount of collabs, which is fine. I didn't mind the Tetris palette nearly as much because I created a nice look. I haven't used it since, but the look that I created wasn't bad. The GG Gorgeous wasn't bad. I got a bronzer, I got a blush. They actually work out kind of fine. So why didn't Betty Boop get the same treatment is what I wonder. And I also don't think that this was well received because a lot of people already saw the Tetris collab, so they were like, really? Another collab? And I know myself included felt that this was a way for IPSY to put in some filler products in their bags. Next I have this Becca gloss. I'm not a big fan of these Becca glosses, and these shades just don't look good on my lips. It's a super sticky gloss and it doesn't wear nice. I feel like the gloss is just gone within an hour of wear. When we received this in BOXYCHARM, it was around the time that it was half off on Sephora's website, and this gloss had been on sale on Sephora's website for the longest time. So it goes back to my other conspiracy theory of when products aren't selling at Ulta, Sephora, wherever it may be, that's why it ends up in BOXYCHARM. Time to move on. This product is old, and this is throwing it back to BOXYCHARM. This is the Temp 2 Shimmer Bronzer, and I remember when I got this in my box, it had exploded everywhere. And it was back when BOXYCHARM required you to keep your box to take a picture of your address so they can send you a replacement box. I threw everything out, and they literally were fighting me back and forth about a box replacement. Of course, this is a replacement, but the one that I received, there was product everywhere. The bottle was covered in product. What more evidence do you need that this bottle had exploded in transit? I mean, it's summertime, the heat expands products, and boom, it just happened. They finally did send me a replacement, but it was so annoying and I didn't get the same variation as I was supposed to. I never used this, not gonna lie. One of my sorority sisters that had BOXYCHARM actually got this as well, and she suggested me to mix it with my foundations. I kept it for that reason and I just never used it. Guess it's just gonna go in the trash unused. I just don't reach for this next product. It makes me kind of sad. It's the Iconic London Brow Cushion. Cool concept. I'm sure there's still a lot of product left. I don't know. I don't like the formula on my brows. Definitely leaning towards more of a pencil these days than a pomade or a brow cushion. I always feel like I press the cushion a little too much, and maybe that's why that a lot of product was just picked up on the brows and it just looked really blocky, but I just couldn't find a happy medium using this. I used it a couple times trying to make it work and trying to love it, and I know I can use more brow products because I do go through brow products quite frequently, even more so than eyeliner. It was literally in the back of the drawer collecting dust, so that's when you know it's time. This was a product that I am giving a second chance and I'm still not reaching for it, so it's time to go. It's the Tarte Pro Glow Liquid Highlighter. I'm just not the biggest fan of liquid highlighters. I can't get them to blend out nice on me. I feel like they dry down super fast, so you have to work really quickly, but I hate using my finger to blend them out because it just makes a mess. And then if you use a brush, it just doesn't blend out. So I can't figure out how to best use these. I just think it's just too much work where I can just pick up a powder highlighter. When you can get it to blend out nice, it actually looks like you did use a powder highlighter. You almost can barely tell that this is liquid if you can achieve a nice blend on it. I think it's just because I'm so determined on trying to make this work. That's why I'm keeping it. But I know I'm never gonna reach for this. It's just gonna keep collecting and never used. Same goes for this next product. It is the Luscious Angel Eyes Eye Primer. This eye primer is so hit or miss. I wanted to love this eye primer so much because it's thick, it's tacky, it's something that I needed when I ran out of ABH, but it's just not ABH. I'm convinced this is meant to be with only some eyeshadows shadows and not others. I think for shimmers it works out okay, but for mattes I can't get it to blend out. The mattes always look terrible. It never looks like the color in the pan. It's always a little bit more muted when it's blended out with this. But it also makes me sad because I don't want to get rid of it, because I could definitely use a product like this, because I have contemplated just keeping this and using it for only shimmer shadows for when I do makeup for work. And I keep saying that I'm gonna try to wear makeup for work, and I still haven't done it, and we're almost to April. It's not working out for me, so why do I need to hold on to it? There's no reason to. This next product, I just don't like the spray radius of it. I don't like the droplet size that's dispensed. It's just not a good time for a setting spray. It's the In Beauty Power Up Dual Phase Setting Mist, and it's supposed to help set makeup, energize, and revive skin, which I don't see using. And it's supposed to filter away dull, tired, and stressed out complexion, which I still have. Dull, tired, and stressed out complexion. I don't know. Here. I just feel like the bottom of the nozzle is the only part that's dispensing. I feel like there is no top at all. And I just don't feel like my makeup is set. I think it just made things worse. Made me look a little shiny. Great! I don't know. I don't even know if I would transfer this to another component to see if this would actually help, maybe. That's why I was holding on to this, was to transfer, but I transferred another setting spray and this component instead. I feel like by the time I use up what's in that MAC Fix component, this will be not good anymore. This last product is fairly new to my collection. I'm gonna still set it aside for another video, but I did want to mention it for this video as well. It's the Pretty Vulgar Concealer. We got this in BOXYCHARM when they rolled out the complexion products. This stuff sucks. I even said that when they gave us the swatch, because it creased so bad on me. And it makes me sad because it went on nice, the color match wasn't that great. Even when it was set, it creased. So I gave it the benefit of the doubt because it was a sample size, then I ended up getting the full size, and guess what? The same shit happened. Plus, this color does not match me. It is too dark. That's why I'm really starting to hate getting complexion products in both IPSY and BOXYCHARM. They're either too light or too dark. Stop. I think that it's just too hard to try to match people through a subscription box because of undertones, and the surveys aren't always going to work the best. Medium skin for me could be completely different for someone else. I've thought about keeping this. I know I'm trying to repurpose products to not get rid of them and using it as an eyeshadow base. I haven't tried it yet, but it's something to consider. But I hated it so much after the first 2 times using it, and I haven't used it since. It is a more medium coverage concealer. Usually I use a more tackier concealer for eyeshadow looks. I would love to know what your 10 worst products from subscription boxes that you have received. Did we have any of the same products, even my honorable mentions? And if any of these products are some of your favorites or holy grails, don't stop using them just because I had a bad experience with them. We all have different body chemistries and react to products differently. These are just products that didn't work out for me. And if you have any of these products and have good tips on using them, definitely let me know in the comments. I am sad to see some of them go. Maybe I am, wink, setting some aside to give another chance. Pretty Vulgar. I definitely did need to declutter, so this felt really good. Don't forget to check out Get This Glowing to see what her top 10 worst products from subscription boxes are. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you don't, I appreciate your view anyways, and I'll see you in the next video.